We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
So this is a very important week for the Bitcoin price, for Bitcoin, for the crypto bull run. There's a lot happening in this week, and of course we have to talk about this. So good morning everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, and we are going to talk about all the stuff that is relevant in this week, and we are also touching on Ecomi and Veve a little bit, a couple of news there, also with regards to a nice, exciting new licensor, so make sure to stay all the way through. So, good morning to each and every one of you. I know, it's freaking early or late, depending on where you are in the world. I see already Trucking Hank is up and trucking through Canada. And also Big A is here and says pump it. Unfortunately, the Monday so far, for me Monday, maybe it's not you're not there yet, maybe, depending on where you live on the world, is not that much yet. And I can tell you, just a quick note, personal note here, my sleep cycle is completely wrecked right now because of me flying to the US and then 4 days later flying out of the US, 9 hours against and 9 hours with the time zone. So that is completely messing up my sleep schedule. So I slept about 2 to 3 hours right now, but coffee is locked and loaded in the Ecomi mug. What could possibly go wrong, right? What could possibly go wrong? And the only red thing that we want to see today is my eyes, right? So that is what is going to happen. Also, don't forget to smash up the like button unless you're driving. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And tick the little bell to always get notified whenever I go online. Yesterday I had a big live stream. I urge everyone to watch this live stream of yesterday as well. I basically ran probably an hour of analysis on the current market condition, which I will not be able to repeat here, but obviously we're going to look at the most up-to-date state of the market, and we're doing that right now. So the weekend basically has been red, and it's a little bit unusual because the weekend, it looks usually like this, completely sideways, not much happening, right? But this time we were just slowly trickling down, and we're culminating now with this 4% drawdown back test on the support, right? The small resistance in this range flipped into support, hopefully bouncing here and going, completing our move in this big bull flag. Now there's something that is just developing, and I would say now it has enough touch points to be something, and that is a downtrend that more or less looks like this, right? I mean, it's 2 touch points, but we're coming closer here. Let's see if this is something. Let's just put this in a very thin line, and but I think if we breach that, we go to the top of the band, we go maybe even higher, something like that. Could we argue that it's only this. Yeah, a little bit more incline. I don't know, guys. I'm just seeing here that basically you have a series of lower highs here. And what is also very interesting to see on this shorter time frame is that we have a higher low also with this, right? Is it higher or is it the same? It's slightly, I mean, if you take the wicks, it's higher, right? Here. So that's definitely higher than this point. So we didn't come down there anymore, and we definitely have bounced since then. So that definitely is a reversal of the trend that we had before, which was a series of lower lows, right? I mean, or take this wick here, and then you definitely have it. So this is kind of, yeah, this is the downtrend, and now it's reversing. Okay, so maybe the first sign for us to turn around here and go a little bit higher in this channel. Target for that is about, depending on how long we take, but it's about 66K. Oh, I see a lot more people are chiming in here. Jasper Frank, what's going on? Justin, hey, welcome. MVE, good morning. And Big A, 2 weeks left of traditional negative September, but then we go to October. Actually, I think that we are green right now on even on Rectember, right? So look at this. So here is this is the monthly close. Where is it? Here, 1st of September. That's the monthly close, basically. Yeah, we're kind of back, depending on where it's in this candle, right? We're kind of there. We are kind of 0%, 1% negative, something like that. So really not that great. But you're right. October, Pumpvember, Santa Rally, only good stuff is coming. Hopefully, right? So, and for that, before we go into anything else, there is a couple of interesting things in the charts. But before we go to anything else, let's once again talk about the key events this week. And that is starting today with the NY, New York, Fed Manufacturing Survey Monday. So that is coming today. And then tomorrow we have the US retail sales, which is all just getting us a little bit warmed up for the Fed policy decision on Wednesday. And yeah, and that goes together with the Powell press conference on Wednesday. And I think that will be decisive. Not even that much on what they decide, if it's a 25 cut or a 50 cut, but also what he's saying. Like, is he going to say, oh, we're cutting because of like recession, or is he just saying, oh, we are getting a soft landing, we can start cutting, it's no big deal, no biggie. Interestingly, I refreshed this morning. So yesterday in the live stream we watched here how the market was 50-50 divided, which actually is uncertainty. Now the market is starting to lean to a 50 basis point rate cut. So here's the 25 basis point rate cut. Here's the 50. These are the only possibilities that the market sees. And it's now leaning more towards a 50. And probably that is because of like the unemployment and so on. Maybe that the market assumes, that Powell assumes that they are too late and they have to move a little bit faster. Now, the harder the cut, the better for us, right? The harder the cut, the better for us. But that is going to happen. So Powell is coming in here, badass as always, and going to cut some rates. And then also, this will be followed up directly Thursday by jobless claims, which will basically show us again what the heck is going on. Will we go full recession mode or not, right? So there was an interview with Michael Saylor. I don't know if it's older or not, but I just wanted to outline. It's only 13 seconds, but I found it funny. It's basically the strategy to apply here. So listen to this.
Is your strategy you just don't give a shit? You're buying no matter what, like periodically?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. That's the strategy. Uh, are you just don't give a shit at buying periodically, just wherever? Yes, that's Michael Saylor's strategy. And quite frankly, I mean, we have been seeing that it's not even a joke. He really acts that way with MicroStrategy. It's like wherever the price is, they're just buying. And I mean, this also we can look at. I mean, what we've just looked at is basically the small part here, Bitcoin moving in this range. But if you're zooming out and if your horizon is a little bit longer, the more you zoom out, the more things come into perspective, right? So, for example, you zoom a little bit more out and suddenly this downswing is just a little blip in a bull flag, right? In a big bull flag where you're just at the center line and nothing really, like the market shows exactly where it is, right? Undecided which way to go, up or down. But then you zoom out a little more and you suddenly realize, let's get rid of the Fed funds rate for a second. You suddenly realize that you just, in this time frame, you've just pumped, I don't know, you're up still 130%, right? So had you just done the MicroStrategy style, you would have bought like here and here and here and here. You would be up more than 130% on that one. So then you zoom out more and you realize, hey, in 2022 or something, we had our bear market bottom and we have been pumping. We have like 4x from there. We have almost 5x. We're up 4x from there, right? And it's crazy because we tend to forget. We look at this, but then we forget that we had like massive corrections here. Like we had this crash. Does anyone remember this crash, 21%? Before we just pumped the next, right? Or do you, like, how vividly can you still remember this one here? Boom, right? Or have you been joining afterwards, right? 77% crash down, or like this crash within the crash. You remember this one? I remember them because it's basically telling me Terra Luna, I think Voyager Celsius, 3 Euros Capital, FTX, right? So something like that. You remember this, but these little blips here, right? No one really cares. The more you zoom out, no one really cares. And Michael Saylor is like saying it all. You move into weekly, for example, right? Suddenly you move out so much, and you are just in the game so much that even the 80% drawdowns, they're just things on a journey where the uptrend is this. It just becomes a line. And this is what Michael Saylor is betting on. Even if our bear market starts prematurely, even if we only get a small leg up into the fifth wave, which will still be massive, right? But even if something like this happens, like pump to 150k and then bear market, trough, come out, right? You will still see it over the long term, such a trajectory. And the reason for this is that this trajectory looks like this. And I can already tell you that it looks like this. The reason for this is because it only depends on one thing, as discussed yesterday. It's global liquidity. And no, we are not going to go into all the analysis again. That's what the stream yesterday was for. But if you also zoom out on global liquidity, it's like, I mean, can you see it? So this is the pink is Bitcoin and the chart is global liquidity. There's only one way up, and basically it's the line. This line up is the line of everyone that is not doing the Bitcoin play or the gold play, but mostly the Bitcoin play. Everyone gets wrecked. This is literally the chart of the money debasement of everyone worldwide, with consolidations in it where it's not happening that heavily. Basically, that's it. I mean, it would be even more if you look at the inflation, purified inflation, just how much things actually got more expensive and so on, versus how much it inflates over it. But this is a good way of looking at it because basically it's a financial bazooka of all central banks together. right? I mean, you see it on the top here. So this is basically the code. It's like the M2SL plus the EU M2 times the euro versus the US dollar ratio plus the Japanese M2 divided by the USD Japanese ratio and so on, like plus the China M2 divided by the USD Chinese yuan plus India plus and so on, right? And then so this is basically giving you the function of the global money supply, and the global money supply is now sitting at 90.63 trillion. It's funny because the US debt in comparison is 35 trillion. So you would need a third of the entire world's money supply, including China, India, Europe, Japan, and many others. You would need a third to pay back the US debt. Just bring it to zero, and then you can start making new debt, right? You would need a third. But the problem is, all of these others, they're also indebted. So the money supply doesn't even match the debt that's actually there. So yeah, basically that is something that I wanted to tell you. And I think people realize it, and this is also why this is happening. By the way, this is going nuts today. Yesterday it wasn't even at this. I think it was a little bit lower or something like that. Let's look at the daily chart. I think, yeah. So gold is just rallying. Gold rallied on the weekend and is rallying even more. And it broke out basically out of some sideways consolidation. But I mean, you can see whenever something in the chart is forming rounding bottoms like this, it's time. I mean, you see this? It's like a big... my drawing skills are over the moon, but basically something like an ascending triangle, whatever, wedge thingy. And then sideways consolidation, which we also kind of have in some altcoins, and now breakout here. So gold is breaking out, and I have to give props to Stu, because even though Stu said it's going to 8,000, he told us about the gold going crazy somewhere here. So props to Stu. If you see this, nice. Now 8,000, I still don't know. But by the way, if you ask why we have this here, all like outrageous but seriously expressed predictions we're going to save up in here so that we can come back in the chart, right? So also we have these in the Bitcoin chart as well. So for example here, we have this guy this coming occasionally to the channel to FUD us. It's called Health Earth Gurus. So he predicted 14 days ago, price is worse than 2022 bear market, and wait until you see the streets later this week. So the streets later this week look exactly like the other weeks. But hey, okay, let's go. I mean, it can still happen. Everything can still happen. But I like to save these predictions so that also people really think before they try to FUD other people out of their bags. Anyways, so that is interesting. Let's go back to this. So now what we are going to see for the US is basically the US are going to be the last mover in a series of rate cuts that is already happening. So the EU has already cut 50 basis points and inflation rate on the EU, no matter how true it is. I mean, everyone, like the basket that is resembling the inflation rate is not really my basket, but whatever gets them through the day. They are on a 50 cut. Canada already 75. The UK 25. China has done 25 and Denmark has 25. Only Japan is moving a little bit crazy with going up in rates right now. But we can actually expect with a higher rate right now that the Fed is just going to pull an EU, and like what EU did in 4 months or so, they might do it in 1 day. So, and that could be massive for the crypto market, depending on. I mean, there's still, as I highlighted yesterday, there's still this playbook of if they cut, then you sell. and then you buy back once the rate reaches 0. But what if the rate doesn't reach 0, right? And all these concerns. What if they don't go to 0 with the rate? I mean, at some point they have to, but what if they don't, right? Or what if they take like 2 years to go to 0? What the heck? This guy, Blaze Hayes every day says this guy, bigger than Angela Merkel, is bigger than Sturm der Liebe, which is, I think, like one of the worst TV shows in Germany. It means Storm of Love, and it's like this romantic shows that elderly ladies watch or something like that. Nothing against those elderly ladies, whatever you need for like to feel good. So yeah, thanks for that. I think it's a compliment. I am very glad that you ranked me above Angela Merkel, but hey, there we go. Stu said, hi, heard my name, gold baby. Hey guys, yeah, absolutely Stu. Hey, here, the man of the hour. I was giving you props for somewhere here telling us about going to 8,000. So we have marked, actually it was, what's that second? We marked it second here. So Stu told it us here in this dip, guys. Had you bought gold, you would be up almost 4%, right? But I mean, it's nice and it's a breakout. So it's a breakout. Gold is not done yet, but there's also a long way to 8,000, right? So let's go. But welcome to streams too. I really like that you came back for this one. Also, guys, please, 21 people here, smash up the like button right now if you enjoy these streams. If they are giving or providing you any value or fun or whatever in the morning, please let me know by smashing up the like button. It helps us content creators a ton. It doesn't cost you anything. While we are watching gold, like let's put it this like so Stu can really see the big green gold dildo going up. By the way, guys, I mean, it looks so flat, but actually it's not. So for example, take this low point here. It's like a 13% move, and before that, gold didn't really have the good and the big time, right? Stu says, and it's only going up. Central banks buying gold like crazy. Absolutely. And I think at some point, maybe not in this year, maybe not in 2 years, but at some point they will also load up on Bitcoin once it has reached like a more mature, less volatile status, and once they lost the political fight against Bitcoin, right? I think this is the play. Nothing against gold. I got my grams at home as well. The gold grams, guys. Gold grams, right? Please, I don't want to get raided. So just to have that very, very clear here. Anyways, that is the rate cuts. Then also we're expecting. So here we are expecting. Sorry, excuse me. Very early in the morning. We are expecting this to perform as every other halving year. I mean, this is a little bit outdated. We are not anymore down -7%. We're down only -1%. But nonetheless, Rectember is really not fun. The boredom continues. I don't know how we survived it until here, but we did it somehow together. And now the question is, every halving year, we're filling these 3 next months with big green. And the worst actually in all of these, also by the way, even the last year was like this. Like even the last year, like even the year before that is like this. As you see here also, like the year before that. Despite this one, this was crazy. But the worst performance that we saw was +5%. I mean, we would take +5% at this point in time, but we'd rather prefer it to go like +40%, right? So let's hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Okay, so this chart, here we go. This chart, it basically shows us the monthly Bitcoin, and it shows us a trend line at the RSI that is slightly downward sloping on the entire history of Bitcoin, right? And there is basically, there is a top, there is a bottom, and there is the first and a second top, so to say, right? And the important thing is the blue dots here. So the blue dots mark the first top, and also it's not really a first top. It's basically where Bitcoin significantly and decisively breaks its previous all-time high. So you see this here, like all-time high comes to the bear market, coils up, and then breaks the all-time high on a monthly. And no, this did not happen just yet. Not really. Inflation purified? Definitely not, right? So from there, boom, rally to the actual top. By the way, here's the mid top. But bear market comes up, breaks decisively on a 4 week, on a monthly, its previous all-time high, rally to the top. Bear market. Bottoms, comes up, breaks decisively, rally to the top. You see this rallies every time. This rally is a little bit shorter. In perspective, it's still massive, because if you double in this rally or what. So here we see it again. From this top to the bottom, we had this pre-bull. Breaking decisively is what is going to happen now. Very likely. We don't know for sure, but very likely. And then rally to the top. And even if this dot goes in like here and almost is glued to this one, like that short of a rally, that's still over 100,000. Maybe if psychological barrier is hard and the economic environment is not that good, maybe you fail at 98,000 or so, right? Then you don't reach 100K. But that would be like my absolute worst scenario would be somewhere between 85 and 98,000, that it stops there already, turns around, but then we still get our altcoin season, right? So yeah. And what's I almost forgot the essence of this chart. What is happening is that at every of these blue dots also you are more or less at the same range of RSI in this channel. And now the question is, will we pump our RSI into the 90s again? If yes, then we hold true once again with this chart. Also, another way of looking at this provided by Plan B. By the way, if you're following him, don't get trolled. He basically posts every time he comes back from sailing. He posts that he lost his ledger and all his Bitcoin in a sailing accident. But yeah. Omiprazole says, I'm scared, Monka, as of what? What are you scared of? What are you scared of? There's nothing to be scared of. It's all like opportunities. Now, here's why you shouldn't be scared. So the color in this chart says how far away you are from the next halving, right? So red means you're like more than 40 months out of the halving. Every time from dark red into the more reddish, except in this very first bull run, which I think is out of the ordinary, right? Because it was so young. It was like $2 to I don't know where. So everywhere, then after that, the dark red into the red is like gluing somewhere in this second downturn, right? So you have your bottom where you are green, and then you are coming up in your first rally, and then you are dropping again, right? Look at here. Bottom is green, you come up into the blue range, and you drop again into your second bottom, so to say, in your second correction, and then you're rallying. And now, bottom, we came up in the blue zone, we come down, it's reddish, and we're waiting for the explosive move. The explosive move is in the normal red, 40 months or so, bam, here, right? Or here into the orange, or here into the orange, right? It's even the same here, only that there's no bottom because there was no previous bull market in this one. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this is what is going to be in front of us. I would be very surprised if we're not moving in this way, because as I outlined in yesterday's live stream, you literally have to. I think I will upload just the analysis part as a video, because people are just too lazy to go one live stream back, and they're going to miss out the entire analysis. So probably, since I will be traveling today once again, I will upload this as a video, so please don't hate on me. I will just do that. But I really can't see any difference. Like, what the heck is different? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we're still in a slump compared to this a little bit, but also here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a little bit out. So we're a little bit more in a slump here compared to the other ones, but nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Omeprazole says rectamber. Yeah, chart looking very demure in slow timber. I mean, slow timber. Rectamber is we didn't get really wrecked. I mean, right? We're not wrecked here on September. But what's really getting on people's nerves, and I said this many times, the sideways action is worse than crashes, because in crashes people can show off how hard they are hodling and how crazy crypto veterans they are. But if things go sideways, like, I mean, this is a 30%er. But when things go sideways, people are really like, oh my god, this never, nothing happens. Like, maybe take a chill pill. Maybe take a chill pill and just what did I want to say? Sorry for the brain lag. Take a chill pill and go and trade some stocks, and then you will see how sideways action is. Like, this is still as good as it gets. I mean, look, we have bull flag action right here, and we are coming up to maybe break and go. Or we break and go, but then also the boredom is over, right? If this happens, also the boredom is over, then shit's hitting a fan, left and right, everyone will hate, thumbs down, people coming crying to the channel, what is happening to my portfolio. But the more likely scenario is that we'll go up here. So once, at the moment, like, this is the center line of this channel, guys. And we are just at it. I mean, we have been worse 2 weeks ago. Come on, guys. We have been way worse. We just pumped last week. Last week was just big green candle. So, yeah. I'm back in profits with Sui. Yeah, see? I told you. Remember when you came here 1 week ago and you said, I'm down 20% on Sui, what do I do? I told you, it will come back. So yeah. By the way, I saw you on Prozol. You have to be a rare hodler, then you can use the Monka. I think. I'm not sure, but I think it's in the channel member thingies. Omeprazole says that's what scares me the most. Well, that's what scares me, that we haven't gotten rectambered yet. So I'm thinking we might. But we have, I mean, it's not only rectamber. It's we already got wrecked. But maybe, I mean, this fat rate cut could send us into rectamber, like really big rectamber, and then we will, like, we come down and we lose support and crash and big wick, and then we come up because the financial bazooka is going off, right? Yeah, something like that. I'll be the first one to come and cry to the channel. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, smash up the like button to pump the sweet price for Omeprazole. That's what. By the way, we are not sponsored by any pharmaceuticals. It's just his name. Don't mind him. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we are from the halving. We're a little bit in the slump. We have some recovery to do here. That's also why I think like at some point we have to just go, right? Global liquidity is looking up, but we just have to go. Pre-Tesh has just subscribed. Welcome to the channel. PogChamp. Yeah, but PogChamp also, you can use these thingies. If you would be a channel member, like a rare hodler, like Justin, you would be able to use the PogChamp. Right? Anyways, but overall, just to keep this in your mind, is we are just where we should be. We are just where we should be. Like, this is bottom to where we are. It's way more accurate than from halving to where we are. And we're just in the middle of the two other performances. So if we pump from here, and only in the direction of what happened here, if you only mimic this cycle and go in the middle of these and then drop into bear market. And I want to remind you guys, this cycle, let me zoom out here. This cycle, I want to remind you what happened here. And now we bring the Fed's fund. I know there are so many lines, but I need them all. Maybe we don't need this one. Let's get rid of this one. So the Fed funds rate indicator, right here it is. So you remember the rate hikes, right? Okay. So in my opinion, actually, maybe this argument can't be made, but let's move this here. So you see this Fed funds rate, right? Basically, the party was over when they hiked, and then they started hiking. So every of these steps of the stairs is hiking, but then suddenly you find in the middle of the hiking, when they came more to the end, you find your bottom, right? And you started rallying. So this is why I think it's not primarily about the hikes or no hikes. It's more about how much did they drain global liquidity. So look at that, global liquidity index. There you go. So the yellow line, now it's full of lines. Perfect. Lines everywhere, right? Lines everywhere. But you see the party now, we're going to even enrich this with circles. So the global liquidity party was basically over here, right? Here. Somewhere here. Boom. Here's the pivot in global liquidity. Here at this dot, and here's the parties over here, and we are at 0% fees, we're at 0% rate hike, and we continued at 0% rate hike, but the bear market has already started, confirmed by the TSI. And so now you see how, and then here basically, here's the first global liquidity turnaround where the US were still tightening, but other countries like China were already pulling out some financial instruments to save their economy from collapsing. You remember the real estate, right? So other countries had to do something because their economy just got wrecked. And suddenly we find our first bottom here in global liquidity, and boom, we find a bottom in Bitcoin. So financial stimulus flowing. So what is more important in your opinion? Like being in the middle of the rates and the rate and the cuts and I don't know what, or global liquidity, right? And I think this is the global liquidity change, like year over year, month over month, I don't know. I think this is the index. So how much it changed, right? So here you see basically only the swings, the turns, goes up, goes down, how much does it go up, go down, and so on. Because you see that it's not the same as here, right? So this is the global liquidity function, and we're just breaking out. So again, I am of the opinion that global liquidity is what drives us. It's certainly not the halving, because otherwise we would have already pumped. So here's the halving. And then here's the pump. Here's the pump start. 147 days. So now, here's the halving, and we are in it 154 days. Why did we not pump if it's the halving, right? Yeah, we don't know. Pro-legendary. What? I always have to laugh at these icons, man. I love these guys. the hide the pain hodler, this what is it, like the Spanish guy that is telling whatever history and is laughing so hard. But anyway, so this is this is what I'm looking at in terms of global liquidity, right? And you can almost not see the Bitcoin price anymore. This is how many painted lines I painted here for you guys. So smash up the like button for the painted lines. But yeah, global liquidity, in my opinion, is the thing for everything. Okay, enough with the shenanigans. What else do I have here? The halving trade. Okay. Anyways, let's look at the let's look at the market. How much the market likes it. The market doesn't like it at all today. It doesn't like the environment at all. Bargains everywhere. Everything's down roughly 5%. If I just look at this average, small blip in the space. The only thing green is CKB and helium. Helium is on a tear, I don't know why. But if you look at the weekly, because last week is still in, we good, right? This is how sentiment can shift so fast. I mean, look at that. CKB, 102%. BitTensor, 20%. Popcat, 30%. Beam, 20%. Fetch AI, almost 20%. 20%. Casper also doing great on the weekly, right? So let's only look at time frames where we are green. Superverse 30%, Corgi AI 42%, Sundog 30%, Hex. I don't know what's going on with it. If you want to know if the market is degenerate or not, you look at this. Hex is up 45%, even though it's down 99% or something like that. So people are really trading this stuff. It's crazy. If you want to be a trader, don't. Just don't. Trading, literally, you can make more money in a casino. I mean, if you are the big master, we have apparently some big masters here on the channel, then fine. We testing 55k high or low? Maybe. 55k. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we are very zoomed in. Let's get rid of all this stuff here that no one needs. And the funds right here. I think we test this. I think we will test something like this. Yeah, I mean, it's somewhere 58, 57 first, this range. Omeprazole says 2x leverage strategy, it's harmless until Jerome Powell comes out and says, oh, we have to drop the rates by 50 basis points because we are in a recession, and then Bitcoin takes a mega dive and your 2x leverage takes you to the moon on the other side of the earth. Yeah, Hex and Pulse Chain are jokes, exactly. Yeah, true. So back to the jokes. Basic attention. Listen, I'm farming this basic attention token since 4 years or so with the browser. I hope this pays off. I get couple of bet every month into my wallet since 4 years. So I hope this gives some nice money for buying some coffees in the end. Who knows? But bet. I mean, yeah, what is the market cap? 257 million still? If it does the 10x, I'm good. So all of that is gifted. Yeah, I got free bet for using Brave browser. You too? Exactly, I can only recommend. You get free tokens for just using that browser. And actually, it's not bad. This browser is pretty good. It's in a wallet somewhere. I think they make you... create a wallet on Uphold. So I have a wallet there. Yeah. Oh, I can't forget that I have some Starknet tokens flying around this one wallet. Remember, guys, from the airdrop? Yeah. But anyways, so let's get to the Ecomi stuff. So basically, this time let's start with Veve. So Veve announced a new brand. Here it is. They should have put an engine sound on this. Like they only put this on. This is like literally, they didn't even bother to make it with AI. They should have put like an engine sound on here, like vroom, you know? Okay, that was my version of an engine sound. But yeah, when these lights turn on, they should have like a Maserati engine sound, whatever, like something crazy. Anyways, it's cool. It's nice. We are going to retweet this. Maserati coming. Car collectors are getting stuff on Veve. So there are the James Bond Aston Martins. There are the Lamborghinis. There is Maserati now, and there are also the Disney cars if you like more the cartoon cars. So some car collectors. Dan also has some good drama in the Veve community, ATM. Yes, I saw, and to be honest, I don't want to even go into it because there's something every day, and if I do that, I can turn into these news channels and also report about like celebrities and whatnot. I'd rather like to stick to my charts, my fundamentals, and so on. But obviously, some of the drama is always going on, which, as long as it's personal, I would not like to go into that. But as far as I know, there was a petition filed for Veve to communicate more by Biscuits, and I support that a lot. I mean, I support that because I also want more communication. I think it's genuinely good to communicate with your community other than drop announcements. I understand why it's not happening in the way it does anymore, but I definitely support the endeavor of getting more more stuff. But I think people should be talking about Ecomi burns and what the roadmap will be and whatnot, right? So if you want to have people talk about that, you need to communicate that, right? So roadmap is a little bit of a thing here. So yeah, definitely something to think about. Pro Legendary says, if they keep the edition numbers high, it won't sell out. Even if it sells out, it's going to go lower than retail price. I don't know. Is the article already out? Let's see. Is the article already out? So it's definitely, here's the most desired drop of the century. Not. Anyways, there are some Tarzan collectors. I've seen them like sell almost every, like a couple of hundred are selling out every time. So there are people that are collecting the Tarzan thing. And by the way, if you're like into reading comics, it's a very cheap and comfortable way to just grab a comic off of secondary, a common or so that goes for 1 gem. That's literally like the dollar bin comic. What is that? All Things Strange. Head over to Dr. Strange YouTube channel. Okay. Do that. Yes. Take a closer look. Oh yeah, this thingy here. That's a 1-of-1 artwork. Okay, but Maserati doesn't have an article yet. David is going. David going into hibernation. Probably. I hope he's working on some badass licenses, and then hopefully someone is working on the metaverse, like on the Veveverse and on the gamification and the token integration. But yeah, I'm confident something will come in the bull run because, to be honest, you neglecting the token in a bull run will cost you hundreds of thousands of new users for Veve, because most of the people that are in Veve have found Veve through the token. So you need to do something for the token once the altcoins are waking up. You have to communicate at least a roadmap. If you then rinse repeat what you've been doing before. It's supposed to go lower in price. We're not in the narrative. Absolutely, I agree with that. We're not in the narrative, and that's why probably there's no communication of like big things coming out, and they're more or less setting up all the stacker stuff. And then you can force some burns on stacker or something like that, and then everyone gets excited. So the first thing was permanently removing those 200 billion tokens. It doesn't change anything in terms of the tokenomics and like in terms of CS supply, but it's still good confirmation for everyone who would be afraid that at some point they dump it on the market. I think the biggest, worst black swan for the Ecomi token at the moment is the tokens that are inside that are inside Bitforex. Yeah. When it went down, the 20 billion or so that are not used. By the way, just because I discussed this on yesterday's stream as well. This is exactly what I meant when I said I want to see a move with strength that takes out this resistance here. We got rejected and now we're on our way down. So we're not there yet. We are still going lower, and that is what is, as Justin says, what we are supposed to do. We're not in the narrative. There are a couple of other tokens that do the same thing, that are still finding lows. All these, I saw Rain talk about something like Star Atlas. I think that also made new lows, but also like VRA, like Veracity. Look at Veracity, for example. Veracity is somewhat doing like a double bottom here, but it's unconfirmed because look, it got rejected here too much. But if you look at the whole trajectory, it's not that okay. So this chart for Veracity doesn't really. Is there a bigger chart? A little bit bigger, but you see that basically it came from way above. It's coming lower, and it just found something that could be the bottom. Also considering this is Veracity. You don't have to care about it, but it just shows you Ecomi is not the only token that is basically at their lows, right? I'm sure we would be finding other tokens. I mean, I don't know if Mana, for example, like Decentraland is, I think Decentraland is dead, to be honest. I think it's dead. Look at this. What the heck happened here? Okay, so maybe there's a better chart. Bitstamp, that's Bitstamp, right? Coinbase. Okay, so yeah, it had a rally, but also this is finding new low. So this is like the metaverse. So here's a new low, right? Oh, the metaverse tokens. Then also, what about Sandbox? Sandbox, new lows, right? Do you see this here? So funnily, we drew this TA in here, like what would be the breakout. It didn't quite hit it, but it somehow moved in that way. This is funny to look back at these charts where we did something a while ago. But also this it came back, it got rejected at the lows. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like strong tokens in this market, they are breaking above, like Chainlink and Arweave. They are breaking above and find support here. And I can already tell you that in the next bull run, I will definitely wait until the tokens have undergone everything and I see this, right? I see this strong move and then I wait for the retest, and that's where I enter, right? But anyways, you learn with every step of the way. Will you be joining the Foster AMA on the 18th? Need to ask those real hard questions. I will try. 18th, depends on the time, because I think Foster's somewhere in a very degenerate time zone. So this will be in the middle of the night for me probably, but I will try. I think the 18th is quite a big day. First, I could just go on my notebook, and with notebook I mean laptop, PC, whatever, and stream. I could stream. Is this I'm just looking at this, like lower lows and higher lows in the RSI. I think it's divergence. Maybe it's a turnaround here for Sandbox. Anyways, so yeah, what questions do we want to ask? Like everyone, what's the most important question? For me, it would be, what is the plan? What is the roadmap? Will you communicate a roadmap? Do you realize that people are coming in to Veve from the crypto space? Stuff like that, right? I would ask this question. They had no idea what they were doing with Omi. Stackers just bailing them out. Yeah, exactly. I think that is the case. That is the case, Dan. I think there was a vision. Otherwise, they wouldn't have set up really nice tokenomics in the beginning. But then this went away, and I think that was even like Godenzi or so that designed those tokenomics in the beginning. Will you be joining. I already read that question. Do you think Ecomi has been working on Omi to NFT for all these years, or did obviously not? Obviously not. This is crazy to think that they have been working on that. Remember when after 3 years of they came out, I think it was in 2022, in summer 2022, they came out and they were like, guys, we hired a blockchain team so that someone actually does something with Omi. And then I think because this is just me assuming, like I have nothing against anyone or so, but I think because Dr. Profit just was so invested so hard in this token, and he saw that no one's really doing anything with the token, he said, okay, then let me do it for you. And they basically partnered so that he can somehow get his billions of Omi into a value zone where he can finally sell them into the market. But that doesn't mean that you can't do anything out of the token. Yeah, that doesn't mean that the token cannot do well in a bull run. But you have to be very, very careful with all of this. Ask about the update or the roadmap. Yeah, exactly. Let me do that. I will have to figure out when this is, but I will try to ask this question. If they knew what they were doing, Reese wouldn't have put so much effort into an Omi plan that wasn't implementable. Yeah, followed by him dumping hard. And then just leaving. It's a bad look. Yeah, it is. I mean, can you argue with it? Not really. Your guys are saying it. You can't really argue with it. Let's see. The hope is that that Ecomi will find a nice adoption. Yeah, 1 a.m. for us in Europe. Okay, I can manage that. Since I don't get sleep anyways, I can manage that. Okay. Yeah, I will try to join that. I don't know. There will be many people joining that. I will try to get speaker, but you know how it is. Like I've never gotten any speaker opportunity from team when I requested it ever. You remember me even trying it on stream, and I wasn't able to ask question. I wasn't able to speak. So we will see. We will see if I can ask a question, or someone else will already ask those questions, right? Then also why? Then there's no real necessity for me to ask that if it's already asked. Number one rule in crypto: ignore comments. That is true, Justin. Ignore comments, but also research the critics of your project. I would say that. But anyways, guys. Dom Wu says, what do you think about Link price potential? Link is very, very good. Last thing I want to do here. Wait a second. That was the indicators. Link. Actually, I have Link in here, so I can just switch. There you go. So definitely. So Link is very bullish in my opinion. This was like the most perfect bear market I've ever seen. I would say past all time, one of the few older coins that will pass its all-time high. I think $100 mark will be a challenger. Yeah, rough 10x from here. I would say is a realistic target. What? No, Blaze, you got him wrong. He wanted Sven wanted to say that the AMA is going to be at 1 a.m. in Europe. The AMA with Foster, not what it is right now. Right now it's 8 a.m. But I have to go. I have to jump. Guys, wherever you are on the world, have this great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, and so on. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and